that I want to be my own boss, create my own team, be my own leader.
Uh, yeah, like, I think that like depend on your motivation and like what motive you. There gonna be some kind of like struggle. Like for example, if some people they plan to grow themselves personal development, like to
Yeah.
grow their communication skill. The objection of that is like they're gonna go through a smaller objection compared to the people who serious about building the business. Because the people who are going to build the business to make money and passive income, they're going to face bigger objection. And when they face a bigger objection, then the question they're going to ask themselves, is it worth it for them to face that objection? Or do they have a backdoor? Like for example, if they put you in the cage of lion, and I leave the door open, like you wouldn't find the lion, right? But if I put you in the cage of the lion and I close it and I throw the key out, now like, either you're gonna walk out alive or the lion gonna die, right? It's because you close that back door, and it kind of same with the, and like that kind of back door is represent motivation. Like for example, if you say like, hey, you want to grow communication skill because you want to be able to have more deep, meaningful relationship with your nephew, your sibling, and your mom, your dad. So, and then if that doesn't work out, are you still okay with that? Because if you are still okay with that, then wherever you like we have to ask you, hey, go talk to that stranger, hey, go talk to that leader, go talk to that speaker. You're gonna be like, I would rather to be in my comfort zone more than talk to that speaker because my motive talking to my family is not a big. But if your motive is like either you do or you die, now you're gonna be like hate with stranger. In order for me to talk to them, I had to overcome this kind of objection of awkwardness to be able to get to know somebody. Because sometimes when you being around with somebody doesn't mean that you know that person. It's just like you hang around with that person quantity, but doesn't mean that like you had a kind of like deep meaningful relationship or the deep quality conversation. So because you're talking to a stranger, you have to think like, what should I talk? What should I ask? Oh, I have to be curious about that person. Sometimes, oh, like how did you grow up? Oh, what happened in the past that made you become the person you are today? So all of a sudden you become curious about that leader, and indirectly when you go home, you're gonna start thinking, I didn't know mom growing up, so I want to know. So you grow that curiosity, the intangible. But if you don't really want to have that kind of meaningful relationship, and for you it's just like quantity time only, then there's no need for you to grow that communication skill. And same thing with the building passive income. Yeah, like if you grown up and you feel like, man, I've been being my own boss, I've been like comfortable with the construction side. Yeah, it's tired, but like I'm okay with that. Then when it comes to building the business, when we had to tell you, hey, you have to build a team, you have to go through number again, you have to face rejection. And you're gonna see like, I would rather to go back to construction, like to be a construction worker, because it's more comfortable. Yeah, I don't have to be the big boss, but I can be just like work my own schedule. As long as I'm done with the project, I'm okay. Unless the boss like push the deadline, then other than that, I'm fine. Then you wouldn't have the need to go out there and build a business. Like that's when people they rather to minimize their dream to match their reality instead of like they maximize their reality to match their dream because of kind of motivation. You know, like if you're and then you're going to be able to crystal clear what's your motivation. Because if your motivation is about personal development only, then you shouldn't care so much about composition plan, how money work, how to be a team, the obstacle. But if you're really serious about the money part, where you be passive income, where you want to be able to have more time with your family, to do the thing that you love, and then to be able to have more friends, impact, and then like the way of life. I'm not sure if you remember that graph. So like kind of the byproduct of those by building the business. Then if you want that, so when you focus on building the business, then you're gonna have bigger objection. You have more rejection. It's tough. Like because it's so easy everybody already do it.
Exactly.
Let's send them a job because it's so easy. Like all you have to do is to go through school for 4 years. Don't have to think so much, and just show up on time consistently, and you have the degree.
Yeah.
It doesn't require any special talent in order for you to have the degree. So that's why the job becomes saturated.
Yeah, that's true.
But when it comes to building the business, only 1% out there make it. How do they know whether they make it? They don't know. There are a lot of risks.
Yeah.
Imagine if Mark Zuckerberg, before he started Facebook, he calculated the ratio of he becomes successful in Facebook. We wouldn't have Facebook.
Yeah.
If Steve Jobs calculated the ratio of he becomes successful in Apple, then we wouldn't have iPhones in use. So it's mean that the higher the risk, the higher the reward. But the cool thing about that is like it filter out a lot of majority of people out there. And like that's why I love about the business. Like I want to do something hard. The reason why I study aerospace engineering is because it's harder than a lot of other engineering.
Yeah.
They filter out a lot of like the guy who tried to take my spot. So by the time I graduate, they got only the small circle group of people that have that degree compared to the job market versus the business major. Like you don't have to do so much to go in, you take like you listen to something from the professor and then you note down and then you apply on the exam.
Yeah.
It's like it's so easy to point out like it tells you everything before you take the test.
Yeah.
But in life, like you don't even know what are the agenda of the test they're gonna come like.
Yeah.
Okay, like they're gonna throw out like, hey, when you start your own business, you have to learn to talk to stranger. But they don't teach you how to talk to stranger.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's why you have to think like, man, how can I talk to stranger? Now you have to be resourceful. You're gonna look up on ChatGPT, podcasts on YouTube, whatsoever. You're gonna learn from this person and that person. You're gonna open the book so that you can learn how to have conversation with stranger. But that's what makes it more meaningful because a lot of people, when you leave them there like that and don't tell them what to do and how to do, what does it mean? They're stuck there
Yeah.
because they YouTube being told.
Yeah.
Let's say they were school, you have to do certain type of homework. For me, if I want to master that class, I want to do all the homework,
Yeah.
right? And then later say, oh, we're gonna skip that chapter. I'm like, I question, like, aren't we gonna not use that chapter for our job in the future? I'm like, no, like, I use. Now I question again. So it's not everything in the book gonna be applicable for in life.
Yeah.
So why do I have to go to school? Like I can just like go out there, learn from experience, and ask like whoever the former of that career major, and ask them, tell me what are the things that gonna applicable for the job market for this position, and they're gonna tell me like only 5 chapters from the book. So it
Yeah.
saved me from 4 years of going to school. But because employee, they being told like, yo, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to do this assignment, you have to go by this deadline. I'm like, if I want to run my own business, I ain't need deadline. Like I want to grow immediately. I want to figure out whatever it takes as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So again, if your motivation is not like strong or clear, then whenever you see the objection, if the motivation is lower, smaller than the objection, you easily give up.
Yeah.
But if the motivation is higher than the objection, then you like I figured out a way.
Yeah.
Maybe I couldn't figure out a way. Now I can ask for help from the team that I'm part of right now. So I want to adjust your expectation a little bit because if you really want to seriously build an asset, there's gonna be a bunch of objections like what if your family don't support you?
Yeah.
Like what if your family call you scammer? Like what if your friend abandoned you because you scammed her? What if social media talk bad about you
Yeah.
on social media, on Instagram, on Facebook, on social media?
Yeah.
And then like, yeah, how are you gonna do about it? Because if your motivation is not about building the business, but about personal development. So when we see those kind of like negativity from Amway, from company, from the team, from how we do things, how we like do the workshop, we learn people in, then you're gonna be like, yo, I don't think I can do it. But originally, your motivation is about personal development, nothing about building the team. So your expectation should be about talk to people. So if your motivation is low, then the chance for you to break out your shell is lower.
Yeah.
Right? Because your motivation is, hey, I want to talk to these people. Then you're gonna spend a lot of time talking without, hey, how can I teach later? Because if your motivation is about building the business, then you're gonna be, first I learn, second I learn how to teach.
Yeah.
So it's gonna increase you break out your shell a little bit more. So because harder objection.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So like first you have to clear about your motivation first, because if your motivation is not clear, you're gonna end up having the wrong expectation.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna be like, I cannot do the business. But originally we thought like, hey, your focus is about personal development.
Yeah.
Like nothing related about the money. And then like, when you see the team, like the team is young people. I'm like, yo, young people? This means that young people are the future of my business.
Yeah.
Even though I couldn't relate to them, I can learn how to relate to them. So the future of my young people, they can become the future of my business. So when I had a kid, they still in the business.
Yeah.
Rather than me focusing on the people at my market right now. They eventually gonna have kids just like me. They're gonna be so busy.
Yeah.
So how can I make my business more secure? But on another side, if you go to the event on May 2nd and May 4th, that event like 5,000 people, there are like 20 different millionaires that coming. You're gonna see a lot of doctors, a lot of engineers, the people who actually above 30, the people who actually ahead of you.
Yeah.
So where they are is where you want to be.
Yeah.
And where they are, which is your future, and where you are right now is where they was in the past. So it means that there are a bunch like 60% majority are the people who are at our parent age,
Yeah.
and only 40% are the group of Gen Y and Gen A. Yeah, you know, yeah, because when you've been hanging around with our team, majority of our team are youngster. Like
Yeah.
we have like 16 years old all the way to 33. So like that's it, our group age range,
Yeah.
you know. And but if you go outside of our team, you're gonna see people who actually 30 plus to all the way to 70.
Yeah.
Like there's some people who retire from the job, but they love the business so much. They love to talk to people. They love the vitamin. They love the product because of vitamin. They become so healthy. They do a lot of exercise. They take care of themselves. They look beauty because of artistry. Their home cleaning product is like no chemical. So because of that, they love the product and the business so much, and they love to see people. So now they still building the business even though they're 70. So like there's a lady named Hong in Ali team. She's 82 years old. 82 years old. And still go out there, talk to a bunch of youngster people.
Yeah.
And the young people were, Grandma, you know, what should I do about this? Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, like, how should I talk to that young guy? I'm like, look at me, I'm old, how can I do that? I'm like, yeah, that kind of thing. Like, yeah, like if you don't,
Drink it.
yeah, something say you up.
Dang, look at that.
Oh,
man. Dang, out of all the
probably
ones
you
you
get
got.
some swimming later.
You get him some? Alright. Yeah.
Yeah, you good.
Oh, like the cool thing about this is like,
I have some white.
like you're not gonna feel the stickiness.
Yeah.
There's zero sugar.
Yeah, sugar.
Roll a few whips. Still clean your hands.
On everything there.
Not bad. I'll give you a new one, bro. You got a low
Okay, you
rating.
have to buy another pen.
Ah.
Let's go.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Cause yeah, last time we had a meeting, or not a meeting, but we joined. Whose was it? It was Ali.
Yeah, Ali's,
I was
yeah.
thinking, I think we're like some of the only youngsters there.
Like only small group.
Yeah.
Like 5
Everybody
Yeah.
else was all older.
Yeah,
older
they're
cats.
like professionals, yeah.
Yeah, 30.
Yeah.
that was something else to see. I'm like, okay.
And for me, the way I see the business opportunity, if my motivation is high, like I wish, like instead of thinking of backing out, like I would find the beauty in that. And I'm like, yo, this business not only young people, but they're old people. They're super old people.
Yeah.
There are like super young people too. There are people who have husband and wife doing.
Yeah.
There are people with like different religion can do it.
And
There
kids.
are the people different background, ethnicity can be able to do it. There are a bunch of people with like their children, second generation doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So when I find the beauty of it, like, yo, this business, their success is universal.
Yeah.
Okay, what does it mean? This means like even a stupid guy like me can be able to do it. And then like, I saw like, they're the guy who become planner on the wheelchair. I'm like, me? What you want? I can do it. And then I saw like the guy who actually the leader of the people who become planner, they recognize on stage. And I saw that one ugly guy. I'm like, that guy is so ugly. Like the moment I talked to him, I couldn't look straight into his eyes.
No, that is crazy.
Like he can go platinum. I'm not that handsome like a model, but at least I'm fine looking, you know.
Yeah.
And then I can be able to do it. Okay, if that guy can do it, so am I.
Yeah.
So like when I look at that, like, yo, what does it mean? It take away all my excuse. It take away all my future team excuse. Because what? They're gonna be like, oh, how come this like this business all the Asian? Look, we have black, we have brownie, we have yellow, we have different kind of skin color. And then, oh, how come people in here they talk about God? Oh, we have Indies group over there. And then they're gonna see. So like the more you see to that event, it's gonna open your horizon. But because your motivation is not strong or not clear, you're gonna see a lot of flaws. But on the other side of flaws, gonna be the solution for entrepreneur. Because what are the entrepreneur mindset? Entrepreneur mindset are they find the solution to all the problem out there. Okay, back then people walk,
Yeah.
like they have camel, they have horse to ride. Kind of inconvenient because the horse gonna burn out, so they have some kind of cargo, right? And back then the wheel was just like not round, it's was wood. Now they actually have a car. And the moment they see the car have a lot of traffic, now they have airplane. And they see the airplane very packed, not comfortable, not privacy, they have private jet.
Yeah.
And sooner or later they're gonna move to Mars. Like another planet.
Yes, sir.
So you see entrepreneur they find okay, back then you can only meet the people from their town.
Yeah.
That's why they have home telephone, landline,
Mm-hmm.
like to connect. But they only talk, we couldn't see faces. So now they have video call. And now they feel like, man, I couldn't move my landline. Like sometimes I just had the need for a restroom.
Yeah.
And I couldn't move my landline, you know, like I couldn't carry it to my restroom.
Yeah.
Now they have
Cell
the
phone.
mobile phones, cell phone.
Yeah.
And back then they have flip phone, they kind of inconvenient to check email.
Yeah.
Now they have bigger screen. And I'm not sure if you remember BlackBerry.
Yeah.
Like, okay, keyboard.
Yeah, the little.
Yeah, it's kind of inconvenient. So now they have this one. So things is evolving a lot. Because entrepreneurs they find the solution to all the problem. And as an engineer, like what do you do as an engineer? You make it convenient for other people's life.
Yeah.
Why do we have AI? To make it more convenient for the engineer, but indirectly the engineer lose their job.
Yeah.
So as an entrepreneur, like when you see the problem, if your motivation is high, like I have to find it. Now you're gonna seek out for help if you don't know. Probably you're gonna try it. If you try it, it doesn't work out, instead of giving up. Because remember, if the cage, the door is closed, you wouldn't fight. Like if the door is open, you wouldn't fight the lion.
Yeah.
If the door is closed, now you're gonna be have to do. So you have to adjust your expectation a little bit, like your family. Okay, if your family say that you are scam, you're not even building the business. How can they call
Yeah.
this game? You
Right.
only focus on personal development.
Yeah.
But if you focus on the personal, if you focus on the business, how to build the access. Now, the candidate after 1 or 2 weeks that we meet, they can be able to handle this kind of question.
Yeah.
Like because your expectation that you told us like all about like I just want to learn, I just want to grow my personal development and soft skill thing. We focus on that.
Yeah.
But if you talk about hey the business, then we're gonna have that kind of conversation. Hey, what if your family tell you dumb or call you scammer? Like, how would we go about it? I'm like, of course, like they never run the business before, so how can they know what I'm doing? It's like the employee understand about the big boss vision.
Yeah.
Like because if the employee can be able to understand the way that the boss thinks and the same mindset, then they would become a boss already.
Yeah.
So like those candidates who actually at second step and the third step, they already know what to talk. They already know how to handle those kind of objection. Or what if the people on social media, they talk stuff about Amway negatively, badly. Now they know how to do common sense. They're gonna be like, well, okay, like, do you think that like when you succeed in having six pack, like you're gonna go on social media and then you talk about reaching, or like when you actually take the Uber and you have one good Uber driver, like do you think you're gonna give review or you're gonna be like, it's good, I don't have any problem, let's move on in my life. Or like whenever you have a bad Uber driver and you have bad experience, you're gonna make a bunch of review. And when you go to a good restaurant, you're like, oh, the food is good. Next time I'm gonna come back. Like you ain't gonna go on Yelp and for a good review. But with the restaurant, like bad food, and you have food poison, man, you're gonna file a plan. You're gonna go to tours. You're gonna be paying for that meal,
Yeah.
right? So the same thing with school. Like okay, like when you go to school, like the people who pass the class and graduate with the degree, like do you think they're gonna come back and say this school is good, everybody should go? No, that they're gonna go on. I'm busy looking for a job. I'm busy for the interview. I'm busy for the internship. Versus the guy who dropped out. Like, okay, like, do you think the guy who dropped out? Like, do you think he gonna blame himself or he gonna blame school and the professor?
The school professor.
System.
Like because if he blame himself, how he gonna sleep? Now,
Yeah.
like he gonna go on social media. I did Amway because I didn't read book. I didn't listen to my mentor. I didn't come to a meeting. I didn't stay communicated. Yeah, if the guy wrote that on social media, then how can he sleep at night?
Yeah.
But he gonna be like the people are bad. My opinion never be heard. What you mean you never speak up? And then all the association, a bunch of young people. What? Right? Oh, the book like they make me to read book.
Yeah.
Like don't you read book in school? Or these people make me come to event. Like don't you go to internship or the workshop in school or job fair? But the problem is the school make you pay the book. The school make you pay for the tuition. We haven't asked you any money, even fast one. You only pay for gas.
Yes.
Which is you pay gas for everything. You know, for event you don't even pay for the material. You don't pay. That's what people don't see. But majority of the time they're gonna go up there. They're gonna talk about the bad stuff instead of admit themselves. That's why they never change. Like they're gonna be like they make me talk to a bunch of strangers. For me, I see that's an opportunity for me to increase communication skill.
Yeah.
Or they make me to walk out my comfort zone. Comfort zone is the dead zone.
Yeah.
Outside comfort zone is the grow zone. So when they push you out, you should flag for it. Like that's why people they hire PT to forcefully yelling at them, scolding at them. Why? Because they themselves couldn't self-discipline themselves. They couldn't self-motivated. So that's why they hire PT to push them. Give me 10, give me 20. I'm smack the heck out of you. You have to eat. Man, you cheat on me with that burger? So that kind of thing. So like, you have to understand. I think another thing. If something that other people, if a page, a social media platform that anybody can write on it, what do you think about the credibility? Because when you write an essay, You cannot just put random stuff from.
No, it has to be credible sources.
It has to be credible
You're
sources.
gonna cite them and
But
everything.
like when you take advice from other people, is it credible sources or is it opinion?
Most of the time, it's just opinion. based.
Opinion. But majority of people they're like, oh, I saw Reddit. People they talk about Amway's back. I saw Wikipedia. People talk about Amway's back. I'm like, okay, is that credible sources? Yeah, because if people they write the essay and put a bunch of stuff, how do I know it's legit? Like, how do I know it's solid?
Yeah.
Like for school, they understand. Like you know why? When it comes to business, they don't understand
Why?
because they never question.
Yeah.
Like they never question. Why do I have to put credible sources? Oh, because a bunch of opinion out there.
Yeah.
But the moment they question, guess what happened in school? Professor will back you.
Yeah.
That's what they talk about. Curiosity, kill the cat.
Mm-hmm.
What does it impose on you? What does it make you? When they teach you that, they program your mind to be what? Employee.
Yeah.
Because when you work a job, if you question the boss, one day you're gonna open another business.
Yeah.
So that's why the curiosity kill the cat. You have to show up, listen, doing what being told.
Yeah.
Don't think about anything. So it make your brain dead. Do you think that you're learning? But actuality, you only take information in. It's not about critical thinking class.
Yeah.
The critical thinking class is what make your brain activated. But most of the time people don't question. So that's why when they start building the business, they face some objection, they lost all their common sense.
Yeah.
Because they never activated common sense. Why they go to school? Because school actually what? Downgrade their common sense. They're not elevated. So that's why I'm like, why do I work a job? Or why do people tell me that I should enjoy my life in the next, no, like in the first 4 years of college? Why? So that I can work for the next 40 years? So they told me to have fun now and pay later for 4 years. Versus other people like, why don't I grind now for the first 4 years? So I don't have to pay the price for the next 4 years. So that kind of objection that you have, it's not because that like it's something new or only you have it, but it's just that like with audit you focus on personal development, and then like that's why we only talk about how to grow yourself, how to stay more communicative, how to read growing yourself. But if you talk about business, man, like we're gonna throw a bunch of objections. Hey, like, how would you do about this? How would you go about that? Like if nobody support you, if your girlfriend doesn't support you, are you gonna feel it? I'm like, no, I don't think I feel. So it's mean that later on, if your girlfriend disagree with you working a cyclical income job, you're gonna give up.
Yeah.
Okay, you see interconnection. Oh, when my mom said that, like, be careful because of scammer. People were like, yeah, but they don't ask, Mom, how do you identify whether somebody's scammer, whether somebody good?
Yeah, that's true. People-
But the moment you ask that, your mom feel like, man, you make me feel dumb. I'm respect the heck out of you. You disrespect me. You don't take my advice. Like because they don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
I'm like, don't trust stranger, okay, son? And then if you question, wait, what do you mean stranger? Like they are bad? They're all bad? Yeah, they're all bad. Like, how did you meet your dad? Yeah, how did you meet like my dad, mom? Like he was disrespect. Now you make her feel dumb. Like you disrespectful to me.
Yeah.
So that kind of thing. So a lot of time common sense is not very common, and school kill your common sense.
Yeah.
Like because you do things not because you understand it. You do things because everybody doing
Because you're being told to do it.
it. And just because everybody doing it doesn't mean it's right.
Yeah.
Even the dead fish can go with the flow. Like what do you mean? I say human alive.
Yeah.
Like school is they give out the test to everybody, and they judge your intelligence based on the test.
Yeah.
It's like they try to test the fish to climb the tree, and they try to make the the monkey to eat worm. And they call it the test. And if you don't pass the test, you feel like you are done. But in reality, you are made talent at some other area. Maybe not at math, logically, but on another side, you can be very creative. You can have a kind of imagination that can go very far. Like Albert Einstein said that logical can take you from A to B, but imagination can take you further than that. But a lot of times they put you in the math class, you fail, I'm so dumb. Wait, based on what context? But school they never teach you that because they don't want you to think. They want you to be a worker. Like if you look at the shoe manufacturer produce shoe. School produce employee. School ain't gonna produce business. Like all your major is business right now.
Management, business economics.
Okay, do you think that they're gonna teach you how to open the business?
Never thought of that.
No way.
Okay, if they teach you how to open the business, you should question the credibility of the professor. Wait, if you run a business right now, how can you have time to teach? Yeah, but how can you live paycheck after paycheck if you run a business right now? Then you should question that. So therefore, that guy doesn't have credible sources as an entrepreneur or a business owner. So there's no way that he or she can teach you how to run the business. If your goal is to open the business. But if your goal is like, I just want to work for a big firm, then you are on track. You take the advice, for sure, you're gonna work for the business. And majority of the business professor, they will have this kind of stuff. And you to work for that big corporate, and you to work for a big firm. Wait, why you hear that? You're gonna lay off. So if I'm doing what you're doing right now, for sure later on I get laid off and I go back to school teaching. Like that's what you don't question. But the moment you see like, oh, how come young people, how can I build a business? Wait, your motivation only personal development. You know, so adjust this a little bit, have a little bit more
Start
confidence.
pinpoint that motivation, start when certain thing that gives you that burning passion, motivation when you wake up every morning to make you do that, right?
Like purpose can drive you every single day. Motivation all the way up and down. Like if you are purpose driven, like for example, like what I talked earlier. I grew up with past trauma. My mom, my dad divorced, like for example, my mom and dad divorced. My dad hit me a lot. I grew up in past trauma like that. So I had the urge to learn how to self-control myself because I grew up in the violent family. So because of that, you have the urge. So it doesn't matter one day you feel good or one day you feel bad. Or one day you feel excited, one day you feel motivated or not. You're gonna learn how to, hey, I have to be composed. I have to calm myself to reserve instead of that. Okay, whenever I had a problem, I couldn't solve it. Like instead of me using violence to punch the wall, to express my anger, why don't I calm down, see where the root problem, okay, I'll find a solution for it. So now you grow your ability to stay composed, calmness, and increase your critical thinking. But if your purpose is not like, okay, like my family is fine without me increase my soft skill, there's no need for me to talk. But if you think, I love my mom so much, but how come my mom always misunderstands me? So now you have to learn to ability to articulate and deliver your thought from the thought to here, so that your mom understands you more. Or like I see my mom mistreated by other people, so I want to be able to get her out the hood. So if that purpose is very clear, now that purpose right there, what can help me to get that purpose into reality? Passive income. Because what? Get out the hood require money. Be able to help my mom be there for her require time. If I work for a job construction, only give me money but no time. Oh, there's another factor, health.
Yeah.
After construction, I have money, but no time, no help. How about running a business, traditional business? I have money, but no time, no help. Because you reliable for that business, because the business own you. Like open the type of truck, I'm there. Like, what if my mom in the hospital, the eye surgery for it, you can do that, right?
Yeah.
And you couldn't be there because you had to stay at your business. You cannot close the business because why? What if your customer go to another place
Yeah.
because you close on that day? So they would go for the place that more credible, number one, more consistent, and more predictable. But that's what other people they don't see. So again, purpose is gonna help you survive. So when you find like, hey, this business give you time and money. So regardless of how many times like others people, stranger put you down, social media app and talk bad about you, negativity on social media, even though you don't know how to handle it, you're gonna come and ask.
Yes.
Like they're gonna be like, hey, yo, I want to be professional soccer player. A bunch of basketball player put down me. Ronaldo, see all my coach. Can you explain to me? Then you will go back to your coach.
Yeah.
To ask about it. But majority of the people, they go for the other people who don't have the expert in the industry.
That's true.
It's like you play soccer, you ask for a swimmer. Hey, okay, hey swimmer, like what do you think about soccer? Hey car mechanic, like what do you think about soccer? Like, car mechanic better. You should go to school for that. Why? Because if they say soccer is better, indirectly they say what they're doing right now is not good. So that's why when you talk to other people, they always brag about what they do. Because if they talk good about other things, rather than what they do, they indirectly tell themselves that they are the loser. They make the wrong decision. They spend their time wrongly. But for us in here, it's okay if you like what major that you study, as long as it makes you happy, but at the same time, you should be a passive income on the side.
Yeah.
So that you can live with option. Time is life, money is choices. You want to have a life with choices. So that kind of thing is like it's all revolving what? Purpose, vehicle, and objection, challenge. Because the bigger the purpose, the more objection.
Yeah.
Okay, now obviously there are a bunch of people talk about Donald Trump than you. Because you have bigger purpose.
Mm-hmm.
There are more people talk about Messi and Ronaldo more than us as a league player.
Yeah.
Why? Because bigger purpose, more hater. So the more hater, it telling you you're doing the right thing.
Yeah. It's
If
true.
nobody tell you what like something about what you're doing,
It's wrong or anything.
that's wrong. That's why going to school is so easy. Like nobody criticize you.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, that's why like graduate, get the degree, like nobody criticize. They compliment you because why?
Yeah.
You are doing everybody doing.
Yeah.
So if you want greater life, better life, an extraordinary life, then you have to go against that kind of hater. A bunch of people like disagree on you. Then tell them my mom like, look, I don't need you to go to work. Just stay home, go to school. Like mom, you think that I'm a loser? Like you think that I'm so weak that I couldn't handle school and work?
Yeah.
Right? Like because if I couldn't handle school and work, how can I handle work and family in the future?
Yeah.
Mom, you indirectly tell me to lose. Mom, you indirectly make me become weaker. Like did you know that your parent, the reason why your parent becomes so strong right now, mentally, physically, is because they went through a lot of tough times. Like they had to cross the border, they had to fight against the
Start all
norm.
over.
Like they start everything from scratch. They come here with no English, all they know is Spanish. They have to learn to talk to stranger. Like or else they don't know how to be able to get the kid to school. And like when your parent get you to school, they have to learn to talk to some of the professor to They had extra care for you. Right? They had to look in the eyes. They had to talk to stranger. But when it comes to our generation, stranger are danger. They indirectly make you weak.
Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of my family does too. They tell you just want you to just go to school, get your degree and your job, and that's it.
So you should appreciate it, whoever being hard on you.
Yeah.
You should appreciate it who actually talk straight to you. Have a kind of make talk, straight talk.
Yeah.
Like, because our whole entire life, we've grown up, become like a Peter Pan, where you never want to be a grown up man, when you run away from reality. Like, that's why, like for example, I'm not sure if you had a job right now.
Well, no, not really.
Like, how long ago you haven't had a job?
Ever since I came to school, so about a year.
A year? So it means that later on, when you work a job, you couldn't be at that.
Yeah,
You can only focus one thing at a time.
that's true.
So it means that later on, when you work a job, you're gonna forget to feed the baby. Like when you had a job, you forgot to be the husband. Indirectly, you're gonna have divorce.
Yeah.
Because marriage requires consistently effort growing over time. Commitment.
That's true.
Like that's why Ronaldo can be able to become so great because he make hard choices. So again, like I'm not sure if there's a pen in here or a marker.
Oh.
You want like an expo?
Yeah, you got one?
Got that?
Yeah.
I think I might have.
Always
Okay,
prepared.
I can show you on here.
A good iPad.
Okay, like for example, so like life is like this, right? So like this is your choices. Choices. This is life, right? Some people, they make better choice. No, like they have a lot of choices. So that's why their life is very minimal. But some people, they make, okay, I'm sorry. Some people, they don't make hard choice.
Yeah.
Like they have a few choices, right? Like they make hard choice. Like they don't have a lot of choices.
They make tough ones.
Like tough choices, but they have life right here. You see it?
Yeah.
A lot. Like Ronaldo, he stayed consistent in diet for 14 years,
Yeah.
20 years. And then when people having fun, party like Neymar.
Just party.
He at home, he do the treadmill with water, like under the water. Right? Like water, like other people they live on fame, like ego, like Mbappe. Let's just say like, I want to be the president of Real Madrid. That's why I go over there because they give me a lot of benefit. So that's why his career is not exit to become GOAT.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? But Ronaldo, he make hard choices. 36 years old, come back to Real Madrid. And you, like Manchester United, a tough league compared to La Liga.
Yeah. This is the best league.
But then at the age of 35, not at the age of what?
2020.
Right? So he going back with bone cracking, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But then he made hard choices, and then he become a top player. So a lot of people say Messi is better, but I think that Messi stayed with the best team for so long and make a lot of goals compared to Ronaldo. Not the best team, but he can be a top player and carry. Like for example, a lot of people they say, oh, Messi doesn't have Ronaldo doesn't have World Cup.
Yeah.
Well, compare on the context. Messi grown up in the nation that's very good at soccer and had the gene in soccer. But Ronaldo, Portuguese, nobody know about that country
That's true.
until Ronaldo show up.
Yeah.
And he carried the whole entire whip team to World Cup. That's all crazy. And semi game, and that's already another tough one. So look at the effort to carry from 0 to 10. It's so hard. Compare Messi, he go from 6 or 8 to 10.
Yeah.
right? Yeah, like that the competitiveness when you grow like when you were born in the country, it's like full of talent. Like that's what make you talent out, all talent, which is cool. But coming from here, like I'm like, I have hope over here more because talent cannot be duplicated. Yeah, when you look at Messi, you're like, there's no way that I can do it like him. But when you look at Ronaldo, you see his eating diet, you see his game plan for working out and training. I mean, like, if I follow exactly the same thing, maybe I'm not like Ronaldo, but I'm gonna be top than him.
Yeah, you become better and better.
Like that's why Ronaldo had like become the inspiration model compared to Messi. Like, because everybody follow his training program
Yeah.
and the eating. So the same thing in life. Like when you actually build a business, better life require hard choices. Okay, it's so easy for you. Like whenever you stress,
Yeah.
you go party. Yeah, it's so easy. Like whenever you stress, you go back to drinking and smoking. Wow.
Yeah.
So you can escape from reality. But like only a few who make a hard choice, which is face the reality, find the solution to that problem. Now they become good. Like it's so easy like to build the business that everybody support. But when you become successful, nobody wants to listen to your story. Like because like that guy, he started a business, let everybody support, become his customer. He go out and talk to people. He find sick people. That sick guy become platinum. Now he become diamond. Now, even though you had the money, even though you had the time from Amway business, but you hate it. You know what? Like because every single time you come to the event, the seminar, they invite you to be a speaker because you have a title as a diamond.
Yeah.
You have a life, but nobody want to listen to you. Like, because that guy is like fairy tale. Like me, I had struggle talking to stranger, and that guy was born natural communicator.
Yeah.
Okay, like that, my family abandoned me, kicked me out of the house because I built a business. That guy, family supported me. I had to talk to 20 people,
Yeah.
offer 20 products. Only one person become my customer. That guy, everybody become his customer. Oh, now you become something. It's called restroom diamond.
Wow.
It's mean that every single time you go on stage and talk, everybody go restroom.
Bathroom break.
Yeah.
Like because your story is the same
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
Like they're not
That's
significant.
No, I'm not trying to be a restroom guy.
So when I talk about this, it's more than just the money.
Yeah.
It's more than just time. Because when you have money and time, what else? Impact with other people. You can do a lot meaningful. Like how about your kid?
The legacy people.
Like does your kid growing up idolize Messi growing up, or they idolize you?
Yeah.
Like the reason why a lot of kids idolize other idol is because they don't see the example at home. But
Yeah.
what if your kid growing up idolize you because what? You are the best example at home. You raise them up, you have a kind of connection with them. That's when they'll be like, man, I inspired by my dad. My dad actually is my role model.
Yeah.
360-degree area, not only one area, which is hardworking. Hardworking, everybody hardworking.
Yeah.
Or what else? How about inspire other people, help other people live better off. And then like whenever I go out there, everybody talk about your dad did this, your dad did that. Man, you are a blessing.
Yeah.
To grow up in that family.
That's true. It's a great feeling of that one feeling of leaving an impact on somebody when they do better.
I think the progress of like when people they look at you, they see like you are right now totally different when you get started.
Yeah.
How did you get started? I thought he's like God. But no, he was starting same thing.
Same like
Low service.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, going back to that point too. Yeah, like my father, that was kind of my idol, you know. At least growing up, taught me all the core values of hard work and everything, you know, how to save money, you know, save for these special occasions. Don't spend on stupid things, you know.
Yeah.
I feel like what they don't know is they know how to work hard, or at least more of the Mexican side. You know how to work hard, but they don't know how to work smart.
Smart,
They don't know how to. They're not willing to take those risks because they're scared. They don't know what it comes with. But now, yeah, it's a little more understandable with them, you know, how where they're coming from. But now us, they try to leave that same
Gene, like genetic.
same ideas
Yeah.
towards you. But we're a whole totally different generation.
Yeah.
We're not like them. We're a little different. We have more. There's more for us to grow, and you know we have to apply that differently than them. And that's one thing that like they take away. Like they don't know how to see it basically. And that's one of my goals too, just to try to show them how to, you know, like how you said, making them kind of feel dumb. Like, okay, well, what's the explain this and this, and then they don't know how. But yeah, no, that's true.
I remember Brian was saying that, that was probably one of the other objections that he had is right now, not really having that best skill set, like you mentioned, how most people kind of start off that way, which is why, it's hard for them, to start doing the work, start getting out of their comfort zones, because they don't feel like, they can do it yet. But I know everyone, kind of starts off that way, without a good skill set. So then, how can, Brian start like developing that, because obviously I'm thinking a bit more about his motivation that'll get him to kind of, go out more. But then how can you really focus on just mastering that craft, that skill set right away?
Like you are fine talking stranger now if your motivation and personal development. But obviously you should expect the result from the business. Not like, oh, how come I don't see any money? How come I don't see the team? Because it requires more push, more effort that you put in to sharpen your skill. It's like playing the Sunday league is so much easier than playing the pro.
We're basically that's like your job.
Like because the Sunday league, like you only like you don't have to come with like prepared. You only come with the slippers and then the shoes only. But other things like they make the eating diet and everything. So like if your motivation is just like, hey, like, I just want to take my time growing, then you are on track. You don't have to overthink so much. But you shouldn't expect the result from the business.
Yeah, 'cause that's one thing I feel like overthinking about the whole like starting it out, not basically like for example not meeting their standards or their pace of how they want me to be, or something like that. And when I'm trying to basically, go day by day, grow little by little, and just fully master first those techniques that I want to, so I can really go out there and be the leader I want to be. So, for example, because I know with time, like all these the skills that I mentioned, like soft skills, I know those will come with time. Because I'm gonna keep going out there, I'm gonna keep talking, I'm gonna keep going up to people, try to sell. I know those will eventually build up.
But then those skills, okay, like the harder the struggle, the stronger you get, the faster you get. Okay, like for example, when you go to the gym once a week, you ain't gonna get six pack. Versus when you leave there, then you're gonna get six pack very soon. So it's like when your motivation is low, the speed of changing is low. Because the struggle that you're gonna overcome is minimal. So that's why your speed of changing is very slow. But if you like, man, I want to change fast, I want to grow fast, I want to be able to communicate more. So that's why you have to consistently facing the struggle every single day. So it's change yourself faster. It's like when you go to the gym every single day, obviously you're gonna be stronger than the guy who only go to the gym once a week. So like, is it the same thing with communication skill or any personal development or soft skill that you want to improve? If your motivation is about personal development, so obviously it's gonna take time so long because there's no deadline. But if you focus, man, I want to have passive income with my family, like what I told you earlier. So now the challenge gonna be more because that's what you told them. Somebody like, man, I want to have passive income. So like when my dad had the eye surgery, I can be able to provide him financially, time-wise, and physically being there too.
Yeah.
So because of that, they had to force you, push you, like, yo, Brian, you have to do this, Brian, you have to do that, so that to the point that like, you can be able to get comfortable with the comfortableness, comfortable with the uncomfortableness.
Yeah.
So that's when like you grow faster because they thought that like, hey, you need to see the result in the business fast. So that's what to push you harder so you can get the result in the business fast. But if you say, okay, hold on, I don't think that I can be able to, I don't think I really had a need with my family so much. I don't think that I had a need with passive income so much. And so right now, I just want to grow myself slowly, day by day. Now they're gonna adjust their expectation to you, and then they're gonna adjust their speed of like pushing you out of your comfort zone. But if you say, man, Tona, this is what I want. I want to have six pack. Tell me anything that I should do. Push me anytime that you want, so that I can get a six pack within 2 months. Now they're gonna be like, yo, like locking into the heart mode, beast mode, right? So you have to learn to set the clear expectation, because I feel like it's kind of confusing. Okay, I feel like you want everything, but you don't want to put a whole lot. But again, like the determination, like, okay, you can try to like, hey, let me go all into the business. Now they're gonna tell you what you need to do, but if you feel like taking too much, and obviously you don't want to go like personal development only, because it's gonna take forever for you to grow, which is one. So is there a way like I can slow down to middle, which is 5? So is there a way like I can lower down my expectation to 5, like training programming to 5, 5 out of 10, so I can get you to that weight, that heaviness, that pressure. And when I get you to it, comfortable, now let me add more weight, let me add more pressure, let me add more to-do list to stretch myself more from there. So with some people, they either they feel like overwhelmed, and they go back to 1, which is they never grow. And when they never change much, because the speed of changing is very slow, because of the time amount of objection that they overcome. So now I don't have any result in the business. I'm like, you haven't started business yet. So now they quit the opportunity. So you should adjust it like maybe to 4 or 3 or 5 or 6, like based on that. So it requires like a lot of back and forth communication. Hey Tona, I feel stressful. Can we lower down next week? Hey Tona, I've been very complacent. Can you add more pressure? So now the Tona are gonna slowly adjust. And in the process, you're doing that. You're not only stretching yourself, but you actually know where you are. Because you know where you are, now you have a proper expectation. It's like, obviously right now, I cannot become a model. Like, because I know that I'm so short. Right? Yeah, but like if in the process of me not going out there have reference point, like I'm gonna be like, man, you know what? It's just that I didn't want to be a model. If I do, I can be a model. Like without knowing the reference point. You know? So like you adjust into the middle ground a little bit more. And then in the process of you going back and forth, did you know that your communication increased? Because you learn how to speak up. You learn how to overcome your awkwardness to talk about it. You know how to overcome your fear of people pleasing. You're afraid other people are gonna be sad. You're afraid other people are gonna disappoint you. You're gonna learn how to speak up because you focus on what? Your process of you growing long term more than the fear of disappointment. Because if you're gonna grow eventually, the disappointment right now is the investment of you becoming big later. So like that kind of thing, like make adjustment, be flexible, because a lot of people they kind of robotic, they had a kind of profession. Either they see the way that they can do it, or they don't do it at all. Either it's guaranteed success, then they're gonna do it, or they don't do it at all. And back to the point of Mark Zuckerberg or Steve Jobs, if they know for sure success is guaranteed, then they wouldn't start after that. So it takes time. Sometimes you have to go back and forth. Sometimes you have to it hurt a little bit. Like, man, I'm so overwhelmed. I'm so negative right now.
Yeah.
Now you go back. Like, oh, I was negative because I didn't know how to solve the problem. So if I didn't know how to solve the problem by myself, now I know my ability is like not so high. My
Yeah.
solution seeker, like my figure it out ability, not that high. Now I learn not to be independent. But I learn to ask for help. So how can you ask for help? In the process of that, I have to lower down my ego. Because
Yeah.
my ego is the roadblock of me having that pain. Like,
Yeah.
okay,
Grow.
remember that pain. Like, man, I want to grow in communication skills so bad because of my family. But because of that ego, I
Yeah.
want to prove other people. I want to look good. I want to save my face more than my family. Now you're gonna be like, hate with my face, hate with my like what other people think of me. I just want to have a kind of quality relationship with my family. So because of that, you want to ask for help.
Yeah.
For me, I want to prove other people. Like I want to prove people that I can do it. I want to prove people that I can figure it out. But not at the point where I'm financially struggling. Not at the point where my family is struggling right now. But I would want to prove myself when my family is financially okay, when everybody healthy okay, my team is okay. Now when I prove myself, even when I fail, it's still okay. But now in your position, you don't have job, struggle financially, then I wouldn't want to prove myself with my ego.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. I would want to ask for help to have success to have a result first. As I have result, by the time I have result, after that, that's where that I try to prove my ego. Because at that time, it doesn't hurt anybody.
Yeah, so I feel like that's been a roadblock for me as well. I got so used to staying into by myself, like my own, staying to myself basically. I got used to that. So not really going out, talking, asking questions, more staying to myself. That's how I got used to it. But luckily, it's kind of been building ever since I moved here. But yeah, that's also one thing for sure.
Yeah.
Another thing we can see. But yeah, that's how I feel one point in my life right now too, where I kind of feel lost because of school. Like, I know grades are not everything, you know, but I still stress a lot on grades. I still put grades first before anything, like, you know, before family, my girlfriend, before even the business right now, you know, like, I'll make sure that I need to get that A, you know? And I know, you know, all this talk that, you know, grades don't mean everything, you know? Grades doesn't mean you're successful. But since I feel like a challenge for me right now too, like even for the next year, how if I do start and I'm starting my business, you know, that's what I'm afraid of. Putting more time into the school, or putting less time into the business as I should, because I'm on a scholarship and it's kind of like I'm forced to get good grades and I have to go for that, you know, or else. Because that's what I'm basically living off right here, you know, the scholarship is paying for the whole school, and I don't have, I'm like debt free right now, you know. So that's kind of like one big thing that is always in my mind, that always pushes me back, like, you know, it always has me thinking left and right, you know, like I can't really come to a conclusion.
Your family making high income?
No,
How come
no, they don't even work. I get past with the basically saying the internship, I'm on the regent one. So I have to get good grades to basically keep the internship.
Internship?
Yeah, I'm sorry, not internship, scholarship.
Scholarship.
So I'm on the
The scholarship from FAFSA, right?
No, it's from school.
From school?
Which scholarship is that?
Regent?
Your major in business management.
Yeah. It's like I have to get a high GPA.
Yeah. Do you know like what GPA you have to maintain for
I
that?
think it's a 3.6 or 3.5, I think, for the school.
Dang, that's actually pretty high.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
Kind of tough.
Hey, Henry.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm doing good.
Is it the UC Regent scholarship?
Hey, they've been busy.
Okay,
Try
okay,
to
yeah.
catch up with you.
Is it fire? This guy's gonna apply right now.
I'm not qualifying for it. I'm at like a 3.0.
Shoot.
Yeah, wait, you
How
need
many
to, no, it says right here you need to have you need to maintain 3.25
So,
cumulative,
What do you have?
and you need to have a
3.9.
and you need to have 12 units. So you need to have like all B's pretty much to pass it.
Right.
You said pretty.
Right.
It says maintaining eligibility. Must maintain minimum 3.25 for the region scholarship.
Oh dang, really?
So are you getting that like all 4 years? then?
Dang, seven bands?
No,
Bands?
2 years, huh?
Seven bands? Oh, for 2 year scholarship, yeah.
Maybe 8, I believe 8 something for next year.
Dang, so you're getting more than 7,000.
So
Huh?
you see, it's per year, I think last year was like almost 15, and this year is maybe like almost 17.
Oh yeah, it says right here. For
It
dang.
differs.
Well, how did you apply for the scholarship?
I
Okay.
didn't. They just told me.
Oh yeah.
Because it says right here. It says entering 4. If you're a freshman entering, you get all 4 years. But if you're a transfer, you only get 2 years. Dang, I should have got this. Pretty good.
Yeah.
I got it for
Okay,
3
you
years.
know what? Like you free
I would not
tomorrow?
qualify that. My first year, 2.6.
Yeah, like you come to.
I'm at a 3.9
I can
now.
be able to order the uniform.
That's it.
Man.
So I have like certified images that I have to get that A, you know.
That A plus.
Now you remind me a lot of this other leader. Her name is Misa. She's like super school oriented,
Yeah.
and you know,
Yeah.
just like you, her parents
Yeah.
were like, you know, want her to school, you know,
Yeah.
get your career, and just like you know, she needs to get that A. If she doesn't get the A,
Like,
she
yeah.
won't go out and
Yeah,
network.
yeah,
She won't
yeah.
go out and do the business.
And
So, I think there's like little
tomorrow
like
and
kind of like
see,
little loopholes
what kind
to
of
kind of like get around it.
I'll definitely, like,
I know Luke can definitely break it down
give you the
more,
best offer,
but
and then another thing is
no, yeah, like a
okay,
lot of
you
other
should
people
have
like
that.
who are you know
And that
business
I
partners
have
of ours, like
gonna help you
Arturo.
a lot more.
You know, he's super school oriented. You know, he always wants to get that A, like maintain like that, like what 3.8 or something like
Yeah.
that. But
Yeah, that's what I am basically like.
it's like that like perfectionist mindset, right? That you,
It's more of a personal thing.
A personal
Like,
thing,
I always tell myself, just try your best and live with the results, you know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I was gonna ask if it's like your parents that are like, you know, kind of pushing you for that, but it's more like a
they
personal
always
thing
been
then.
telling me just to do my best. They don't really care. It's more of a personal thing.
yeah,
That's how my parents
I
are.
built since middle school.
you've kind of
Lost
always,
it in high school, but then now that I came back,
Oh no.
Because, like, you fumble-
super fired up at school, and I'm doing amazing. Got these region scholarships and like a whole bunch of different universities.
you don't want to like let the
I just
opportunity
really,
like
you know.
Yeah, I know what you
now I'm
mean.
trying my best if I'm gonna do it. But yeah, no, it's-
Yeah, yeah. Man, I know the pain, man. Okay. Let's just I start at 1 p.m. tomorrow. Like just stop by and then I can
Oh,
give
that's
you a
like
copy.
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like how big you think the vitamin? Like
Cause I've always
it can
been
help
like
you a lot
CK
more.
degree, bro.
Yeah.
That's all the answer I had, yeah. Just a CK degree.
Man.
I've had that like mindset of just like if I can just pass college, then I'm like as long as I get that
Your
diploma.
bones.
Because at the end of the day, like you know, and this is what I've heard from a lot of places that you know most jobs don't really look at your GPA.
Oh.
That
It's not really-
Mhm.
like I think for some
Yeah,
type
but
of
see,
mechanical engineering jobs,
like
For
I
some,
had a sleep.
maybe like doctors,
So
things
it
like that.
help
maybe
Nah,
you
not
to
even,
have the
After
good
2 years,
sleep.
nobody cares about your GPA.
And it doesn't. Yeah, I know
It's more about the
constantly
character
have to wake up.
It's like
and it's
character-
less than 4
character,
hours.
soft
It's
skills.
constantly improving the
higher
body.
you.
Yeah, I'll get you something like the next
Soft
time.
skills.
You gotta get through the interview.
I think you can like
Can
maybe
you do
talk
me a
about that
favor?
more with Brian.
The soft skills
Okay.
game.
Like
Oh,
soft
yeah.
skills?
How the soft skills help you?
Yeah.
Because I mean, did your GPA help you with your interview?
I was so close to the GPA.
Time
Did
to
you get-
customer.
2
So I know.
Anytime later. Anytime
That was
later.
my freshman year
Just
GPA.
send me
Was
the
it
voice,
2.6?
the voice messages about the
2.625.
Yeah, I want to get your feedback.
Right now, I'm at 2.9.
So that I can share with my
He,
next customer as
He's
well.
walking around with
Chris.
Okay.
and Jordy. Yeah.
Awesome, man.
They're
Thank you so
doing their
much.
own thing.
Appreciate it.
I think they're gonna get some
Alright,
food.
I see you
If I might get food
Yeah,
after with us.
If you're not doing anything, like, you can meet up, play some games.
Yeah.
We're
You know,
gonna go to the workshop too.
I'm gonna be what was it?
The host,
I'm the host. Yeah.
hosting in the pink.
Selling powder food or what?
Hey.
Yeah, the customer.
I like. Hey, look at that.
Yeah, the hard help. Like he actually older than me. Like he worked at the USPS. he fixed the truck, and then he constantly had problem with his health, cholesterol, bones, all that stuff, and they love him. Yeah, they love him.
Dang.
Yeah, a lot of people they say, oh, the product is so expensive, and then my family, like, I'm afraid of having my family using the product, and then like those kind of things. When you actually get into like building the business part, like you're gonna see a lot of objection about it. But for me, like when I see that, like, well, the product are expensive because it comes with the quality,
Yeah.
right? And then like when they say, I'm afraid using, like letting my family using this kind of product. So in another way, what I'm hearing is that they don't want their family to use the best product.
Yeah, basically.
And I'm like, yo, you love your family, but you don't want your family to use the product, and you would rather to use Costco, Walmart, Target, like even the toothpaste, right? Like the toothpaste, like to be like, okay, like I'm not sure if you know the toothpaste, but they're like they put a lot of like stock in the toothpaste, so they make the toothpaste a lot, so that's why they sell it cheap. Versus Amway toothpaste is full of like the natural ingredient, so and it's very condensed, concentrated. So that's why the product is a little bit higher, but you can use it more because a lot of people they don't compare something they call cost per use.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So they like something cheap, but they only use 50 times versus something like $2 extra, but they use 100 times. So now the cost per use for this Amway is more than the regular product.
Yeah.
And then even on the toothpaste, but actually the color mark at the end of the toothpaste, it can be red, it can be black, it can be yellow. So red it means that a lot of chemical. Black is like some chemical, yellow is some chemical.
Yeah.
But the for Amway toothpaste, it's green and got certified by government only in food and nutrition, which is what all the certified organic.
And it's
And like, that's what like a lot of people they don't know. And then they say, oh, the laundry detergent in Costco is cheaper. Well, the cost per use for that versus the cost per use for this is different.
Right.
Or the dishwashing in Costco is cheaper and it's bigger. But the dishwashing Amway is so small. But you don't know that. The dishwashing in Costco, they are mixed with water.
Yeah.
But the dishwashing in Amway, they have a mix with water. So it's very concentrated. So you can only take just a little bit and then you mix with water, you can use for a lot. That's what people they don't see.
Yeah, like for example, me, well, when they first, it was back in the more further back in the process.
When you talk to
when
Quan,
I first seen the products, you know, and I looked at the prices and I was like, holy shit, like, man, like, how am I gonna convince my family, even a couple friends, to kind of like switch up, you know, instead of using all the other stuff that they're using to switch up to mine out there. I was like, personally, I wouldn't even buy this. This is too expensive, you know.
Yeah.
And then later on, I started going with kind of like Quan, and then kind of other people were talking about the products, and they would basically teach us about basically the quality of it, and like how you said the use, how they don't see how this is, the cost per use, you know, it's different. Yeah. So that kind of got me thinking, like, you know, you're right. It is about the quality, you know. That's what I had to learn is just basically learning how to talk about your products, you know. Kind of how I forgot who was it, a speaker at the FASA, how she mentioned it. But basically,
Maybe
what
Darren?
she said is they're able to explain the product very well, you know. That gets you thinking like, damn, you're really right, you know. I wouldn't mind paying a couple extra bucks for my own health, you know.
Yeah, that's why you see Lamborghini, like they never do any advertise on TV.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because the people who sit at home watch TV couldn't afford it,
Yeah. That's true.
That's facts.
right? And then like that's why you see Louis Vuitton never make the Michael Kors customer to buy.
Yeah.
Like, because each product had their own market of the customer.
Yeah.
Like if the luxury brand wouldn't care less about the other brand, if they could afford it, like they wouldn't like go convince the low class family to buy that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it depends. And something will help. Some people they only use it for the sake of using and they don't care about their health. They would go for Costco, Walmart. But if you're thinking about, hey, I want to live a life of like meaningful, quality, healthy, then I would consider about what? My health. So that's why you see a lot of young people nowadays, they meal prep. They would rather to pay for a lot of money for the gym, the high, like the quality gym membership,
Yeah.
rather than Planet Fitness.
Yep.
Why? Because they focus on the quality more. So they are one customer. And is it the same with the business? Like sometimes you talk to the people say the business is bad. And sometimes you talk to the right people, the people they say business is good.
Yeah.
So the back then I was just like starting out. I was new. I talked to product to that customer. That customer yell at me. Like, why are you doing this? Don't go around and say this kind of scam. I was a freak out. And then I came back and talked to Phil. And then Phil explained to me that, well, it depends on the customer. If the customer not looking to have a healthy life, then your product become bad.
Yeah.
If the customer looking to have a healthy life, your product become lifesaver. So it depends on right or wrong people. And it's the same thing with the business. But sometimes when you share the business opportunity to the stranger who just want to work a job, then the business become bad.
Yeah.
But when you talk to the people who actually like looking for a business opportunity because they tired of working a job and they see there's no angle for the job and the lifestyle at the job is not matched they need. So when you introduce business opportunity to them, thanks God. Like is there more? What should I do? Right? So you see the right wrong people. So when you and guess what? Is there more people who love to drink soda or more people who drink vitamin?
Soda.
So majority are on the bad side of the health. Minority are in the good lifestyle, good health. So it means when you go out there and you share about the business opportunity, when you share about product, which one you meet more? The majority or the minority?
Minority.
You're gonna meet more people on majority.
Yeah.
You're gonna meet more people who love to drink soda, who
Yeah.
love to drinking, smoking, who love to like do all kind of bad stuff, more than the people who's like, hey, I need guidance. I want that life, but I don't know how to get there. I need guidance. So you're gonna meet very few. So that's what we talk about abundant game, abundant mindset, number game.
Yeah.
When you go through number, and your goal is like not to convince everybody to go in your business. Your goal not to ask everybody to buy your product. Only a few people buy your product, become your longevity customer.
Yeah.
So that kind of mindset, like, and if you, if you're not clear about the business, then it's hard for you to handle this kind of objection, right? But if you're clear and you don't know how to do it, that's what help.
Yeah.
Like for me, I don't expect you to know everything. I don't expect you to know what to do. Because if you already know everything and you know what to do, you already succeed in any kind of business. Not this one. Like you don't go in here for the mentorship. What's special in our business is not the health, not the skincare, it's not about the vitamin. No. It's a personal development, the coaching mentorship, the guiding direction. Because a lot of people they lost hope, they lost in life, they don't know what direction to go. And sometimes they don't even know themselves. Right? They be like, I can be a rap star. And they stuttering every single time they talk.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, like I'm kind of like sing good. But like everybody crying when they sing, you know?
Yeah.
So like self-awareness is what matters a lot, you know?
Yeah.
So there gonna be a lot of more objections
Oh, yeah.
along the way, but what I want is at least you ask.
Yeah.
At least you ask. It's okay for you to have your own way of thinking, but would it be better to double check whether you are on track or not by
Yeah.
asking? Yeah, like sometimes like, I know what to play in soccer, but I always ask my coach, hey, what would you do if this scenario happened to you? Or they're gonna go wing, crossing, and then that. Oh, that's exactly what I'm thinking. So I'm on track.
Yeah.
Like rather than me like go
That's
try and fail. So again, like go back to independent versus dependent. So when you master that, you become interdependent. So you have your own way of thinking. Yeah, it's good that you try, but before that, you have to check like whether you're on track. It's not like we are your boss or anything. It's just like for your own check to save time. Okay, if your urgency is like as soon as possible,
Yeah.
then if I was you, I would want to save time instead of proving myself. Because I'm not in the business of recognition. I'm not in the business of saving my face. I'm in the business of having the result so that I can be able to pay back my family. Because if you talk about if you are a family man, I think the real definition of family man is what? To provide and protect.
Yeah.
What that means is that sometimes you have to make hard choices. Like sometimes you have to make hard choices. What that mean? I skip my mom's birthday. Because I know if she's at hospital, I will be there. I skip a lot of family dinner because I know that I'm gonna take her to steakhouse. I skip a lot of mini vacation, weekend party, baby shower, because I know that I'm gonna take her to Europe for 1 month vacation. Because hard choices, better life.
Yeah.
Easy choices, no quality of life. It's easier to travel to Half Moon Bay rather than Hawaii, Europe.
Yeah.
But in order for you to travel to Hawaii, Europe, you have to learn the process of delayed graduation of Half Moon Bay, Santa Cruz Beach.
Yeah.
Because if you keep saying yes to Santa Cruz Beach, you're gonna say no to Hawaii. So a lot of times that like, mom, I'll be there for you. Like that's me before the business because I thought that like my love to pay back and seeing them happy is like being there. Oh, I have to be at my brother's wedding. I skip that.
Yeah.
Without knowing that his son growing up gonna fully take care of me if anything happened to them.
Yeah.
Because he had a rich uncle.
Bigger picture.
So it's all about like, do you love your family short term or do you love your family long term? I'm not saying like you don't love your family,
Yeah.
but like, do you love them short term, which is you being there, when you're gonna cry and regret when they're at hospital,
Yes.
or you're gonna crying out there lonely night. They misunderstand you, but the moment they need money, all the uncle, auntie, all the siblings say no. Only you say yes. And that's when they know who are the real person in your family.
Yeah.
Listen to your friends. When you know how can I test the friendship, whether it's like good or bad, or whether they're real or not.
When?
Like I tell them all about my fake information,
Yeah.
bad fake information. To see if tomorrow they're gonna snitch it out. Like they're gonna spread that around. Yeah, like because if I tell something, hey, I'm actually gay. Hey, like, I'm actually like bad at this and that. It's fake, right? And then tomorrow everybody know about it. I know like, I shouldn't trust that person. So it's like street life, like street smart. And then like the best way, like for me to know whether they are my real friend or not, I tell them about the business.
Yeah.
But through the proper guidance of the people in here, because they are the right approach for you to talk to your friends, to make them not misunderstand.
Yeah.
But the moment they see the business opportunity and they join you, you actually have the same vibe. Because imagine if you see the picture, the vision of the business, and your friend think that you're a scam, what does this mean? Your mindset have been not aligned,
Yeah.
not same level. And you've been hanging around with the people below you. So,
That's true.
and what do people do if they're below you?
Talk back.
And drag him down.
They knock
Bring
you
you
down.
back.
Yeah.
Bring you down.
True.
Okay, like, I'm not sure if in high school, when you in JV soccer, me, when I was in JV soccer, like junior varsity, when I moved up to varsity, all my friends, you trick me. Why do you leave me? We're not friends anymore, you don't want to play soccer with us anymore.
Yeah.
I'm like, I upgrade my skill to the next level. Why you're not happy for the success? That kind of thing. They're like when you start your own business, they're not happy for you. They're not support you. They're not be support you. It's mean like okay, they're a friend, best friend. Like they join your journey.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, you let me rich together. Let me wealthy together. Let own the business together. Like that's why Mark Zuckerberg, when he started Facebook, he talked to 13 people, but only 3 people say yes. And that 3 guy become a multi-billionaire. Same thing Elon Musk. At first he started PayPal, right?
Yeah.
After that he go into SpaceX and then Tesla. So that kind of good friend who you hang around with. So that's how I test all my high school friend and college friend.
Yeah.
None of them join me. And that's when I'm glad that I found out right now. But not when I struggle. Because when you struggle, you fall down, that's when they take advantage of you.
That's true.
So I would rather to find out now when nothing happened to me. So I can be safe and secure. Rather than what?
Fall down.
Fall down. And then that's when I know the definition of friendship. It's not somebody that who hang around with you longer, but who actually same mindset and core value with you.
That's true.
Because if your sibling is not doesn't have the same mindset and core value with you, you only care for them but not love them.
Ooh.
Maybe you love them but not close. Because closeness requires same value, same mindset. Love them, you can love everybody. That's when you hang out with somebody long time, you grow up in family, you ultimately love them. But close, no, it requires same frequency, same mindset. So that's when that I know like emotional investment versus logical financial investment. My mom had emotional investment in me, which is she want me to be safe. But my mentor Phil, he had financial investment in me. That's why he want me to succeed.
Yeah.
And when I become successful, I can be take care of my mom as well. But just because my mom want me to be safe doesn't mean that I can be successful.
Yeah. That's true.
And that's why I learned to say no to them. A lot of family leisure.
Yeah.
I differentiate between family leisures versus family responsibility. Family responsibility is like who's gonna take care of the hospital bill? Who gonna be responsible to take them out up to travel,
Yeah.
explore. Travel is like you come back every single weekend, you come back on Monday. Explore is like you come back whenever you work. How about the wedding? Like what is wedding? Like you get drunk and then you forget. Yeah, like everybody get together and get drunk. Like that's it, wedding day. But the honeymoon, when you travel places, you build memory together. That's what a lot of people think. Or they talk about you have to buy the wedding ring, diamond ring. Like after you buy it, 50% lost already.
Yeah. Good idea.
But if you take that money from the wedding ring, invest it in the honeymoon, invest in your marriage. Like you see, one side, wedding ring, they live their life for their face, for their reputation, for what other people think of them. Another side, they be like, I don't care about wedding ring, I would want to take that money for a honeymoon because I want to invest in my marriage. That's like a lot of people criticize, why would you do that? You don't love your wife. Well, we had the money to buy a house, so we can have a home. That's what people don't talk about.
Yeah.
People talk, why don't you do wedding? You don't love her, you don't buy a wedding ring? What? You don't do the wedding? Look at all the people. Okay, 80 grand for the wedding ring. Or the wedding ring plus the wedding. Just for other people look.
Yeah.
But that 80 grand, invest in honeymoon, the house payment for your home, baby coming out, don't have to live in the rent place, don't have to walk upstairs and downstairs for the apartment, but have the actual single home. That's what be more better.
Yeah.
But that's what we want. So for us, we chase below the surface intangible things, not the tangible value. The tangible value, we talk about money, car, chick, houses, but like, I wouldn't like Elon Musk marriage.
Yeah.
Like he growing up, don't even see him.
Yeah, that's true.
6 different marriage, bunch of children, don't even know him, connection with him.
Yeah.
Like that's why I kind of like Donald Trump more. It's marriage. If the children grown up, becomes something like him. Even though a lot of people talk bad about it, yeah, personality wise, but in terms of like what he did, what he had done, I respect him. Personality wise, not so much. I think
Sorry, we reserved this room from like 4 to 5:30. When are you guys gonna be done?
We should be wrapping up pretty soon at like 4:30. I thought I booked it till 4:30. Did you book it at 4?
We booked it at 4.
At 4?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Let me see right now, and then we should be finishing up pretty shortly though.
Okay, please.
Yeah, no worries.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, what do you think so far? Oh, like earlier you talked about school, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Like there are way for like for you to do it, but I want to take you to like what after you graduate, what's next?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too.
Like because if you don't see the end goal when you graduate, or you don't put your degree into use, or you couldn't find a job into use, then what's the point of caring right now? Right? Because if you know, like for sure you're gonna graduate, it's gonna be hard for you to get a job because you lack of soft skill. The majority of your time is in school only,
Yeah.
and you don't have a lot of time for soft skill. So because of that, you're gonna have no job. So what's the point of holding on to scholarship? Why? Other people praise you,
The recognition.
fully pay, know that. Other people praise you, but other people, Elon Musk, successful people, they in debt because they see the debt is the investment.
Yeah.
But the reason why a lot of people they no debt because what? They couldn't see themselves to be able to return on investment. So again, a lot of time you're gonna chase after recognition. You're gonna chase a lot of validation from society to validate whether you do it correctly or whether you're on track or not. For me, I'm not chasing after that because I know what I'm doing. Like, okay, what's the point? Where I chase after recognition, which is scholarship, straight A, but don't even know how to interview, don't even know how to talk to a stranger, don't even know how to connect, don't even know how to deliver my message or articulate my thought. Then, like, what's the point of that scholarship,
Yeah.
right? And then, like, even if I get a job after I graduate, how can I climb up a corporate ladder if I don't have those kind of skills? So, like, for me, I focus on the longevity more.
Mm-hmm.
Like the longevity. So there are ways. Like for example, if you feel like, hey, I see that the business is a way for me to build myself and have a financially independent because of passive income, and not so much the school right now because like, at first I thought school is the only way for me to become successful,
Yeah.
but now I found another way, and it's that way. It can be like change the school.
Yeah.
Okay, like why do you have to go graduate from using title? Like nobody care about that. Like even on the resume, they don't even scan the UC. Like they have AI.
Yeah.
They don't scan UC. They scan the skill set that you have.
Yeah.
Like to hire a job,
Wow.
Yeah.
right? So like you can change school. Like in terms of business management, I think SJSU is the best.
It's part of it.
I'm sorry, what's it?
Yeah, like SJSU, like on the San Jose State the University, they have the best business program. And when you go there with the financial aid,
You're set.
yeah, like you don't have to pay so much.
Yeah.
And guess what?
Tuition's covered.
And on top of that, the Bay Area is a lot of opportunity in there. So in terms of, let's say, only title, recognition, UC level, but and inside, empty. So if you're smart, you think longevity. Since I already moved from LA all the way in the set to the Bay Area is fine. Like for me, I go for what gives me the result, longevity result.
Yeah.
So because of that, I don't care a lot of validation, recognition from the society.
Okay, I see. Start looking for that purpose that aligns with the long-term goals.
Yeah. Like that's why CC, like we had a couple of guys who were gonna move out to San Jose.
Jordy and
Mhm.
Will
Yeah, I
Chris's.
think they told me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
A little place down there,
They were
yeah.
thinking about going
I just finally spoke to my mom not too long ago, and I kind of just told her that I was gonna make the transition and want to switch, and that was like her like main like thing holding me back. Oh, but it's a UC. It's like there's only 9 of them in California, like and like she was using that because we're Latino. Our moms like to flex, like, oh, mi hijo va acá, UC, like Merced, it's like, like what Luke was saying, like the status, the name of it. But what my mom didn't know is that, UC's Merced is a research-based school. It's not really business-oriented. Like, I think not until next year I found out, Professor Lee told me that they're going to make a business administration major, and it's going to be even easier than MBE. And so I was like, dang, what the heck, like, this isn't even like a business school. I really just got here just because of like the title, And so I kind of like thought about it, like when I moved down to SJ, they're actually like their SJSU is actually a business school. I'm gonna be able to, actually like have like a higher quality of learning. But not only that, it's in the Silicon Valley. There's a lot more like career opportunities out there than here in Merced. So when my mom heard that, she was like, oh yeah, you know what? Like she thought about it and she actually liked that a lot. And she liked that it's a change that I'm willing to do, because I feel like with like even Hispanics like Tona, Pancho, I think with you too, I'm not sure if your parents like support you and kind of like your decisions, like when you want to do things. But I know for me, like when I told my mom that, she's like, you know what, you're already an adult, you can make your own decisions, so whatever you want to do, I'll just support you in it. But yeah, I mean, it did take some time to kind of like convince, because the first time I did tell my parents, I didn't really like counsel with Tona or with anybody. I was like, hey mom, dad, like I want to go to SJ, it's closer to my business, this and that. And they were like, oh, you're crazy, you don't know what you're talking about. But once I kind of like, actually sat down with my coaches and Tona and learned how to talk about it, that's kind of how I, was able to kind of talk to them.